Caledonia Warriors improved to 5-1 with a 28-0 win at St. Charles last Friday night. Head coach Carl Fruechte joining us. And coach, I got to ask you first about your defense. You played 6 games this year, and Friday night was your fourth shutout this year from a results perspective. Can't get much better than that. But breaking it down on what you want to do and the execution of your defense, what's making that side of the ball work for you through the first 6 games?
I just think we're doing a great job communicating, understanding, what they're doing to some degree, right? We're watching a lot of tape, we're studying, we're understanding our gaps. And I think we're doing a little bit better job this year using our hands than last year. You know, each group's different, right? You work it. I mean, we did a nice job last year. I just think we're just doing a little bit better job this year, working our hands and our feet and really communicating and trusting one another.
And on the offensive side of the ball, kind of a workmanlike performance the other night, just steady all around. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah, we're really gotta work for our yards. Again, St. Charles deserves a lot of credit. Did some really nice stuff, but our guys are hanging in there. We're at times shooting ourselves in our foot with penalties. It's just a grind it out and just that mentality of we got to eat up the clock and we got to I'd like to see us make more plays, more explosive plays, but right now we're getting it done and we're moving the ball.
And is that a strategy that maybe depends on the opponent? Some games you do have to grind it out, and some games you will have to rely on those explosive plays because some opponents, if they make you go 15 plays in a drive, eventually they're going to stop you. Is that part of the mindset that you just mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, you just want to, you'd like to get few freebies, but there's a lot of great coaches in this area. They're doing a lot of great things, and there's nothing wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a 15 play, drive where you're eating up time and clock. You just got to make sure you score. You want to have the guys with great confidence. You don't want them questioning themselves. Coach Pitts is calling a really good game. You just want to once in a while to have it a little bit be a little bit easier on them, but that's not life and that's not football.
And I'll ask you about your quarterback, Ethan Stendel. Obviously, he got a lot of recognition heading into the season. How has it was another solid performance for him last week on the stat sheet? How has he taken his game to the next level through the first 6 games?
Yeah, I just think he's getting better and better on defense. He hasn't played a lot of defense. He's just getting better and better offensively. We always knew that we had a rocket arm back there, and he's doing a great job. And um, he's really taken a lot of the bullets when things don't go well. Just really pleased with him, with his leadership, and not only him, a lot of the seniors. When they goof up, they call themselves out, which they don't need to do, but it's very classy and I think it's a great example to our juniors and sophomores and freshmen that, it's okay. And again, they're going 100 miles an hour and they're trying their hardest. And that's what, Ethan's really doing a great job of.
How do you instill that leadership, knowing the fact that, hey, if I'm going to hold myself accountable, everybody else is going to hold themselves accountable? How does that get instilled?
Well, I'd like to think that, obviously as a coaching staff, you got to admit when you mess up. We're not perfect either. And uh, we have for years always, we made a mistake here and here's where we're going to improve. And um, I think that's extremely important. And then you have to, when it comes down to it, attitude and effort is everything we talk about on playing for Caledonia football. So if you do those two things and then you acknowledge when a guy, hey, I made a mistake here. If you acknowledge that, but say, hey, and with Ethan, and I can pick out a lot of guys. Ethan's going 100 miles an hour. He's trying to do his best he can. How can I get mad? He's a high school kid, right? And that's just been our philosophy. And this group is just doing a very good job of it. And trying to get them ready for real life. We think this is part of the formula.
And this week, you're heading back on the road, final regular season road contest as you head up to Triton on Friday night. What are you expecting there?
Well, great game. I mean, coach is doing a very good job up there. Brandon's, got a really good quarterback. I think Minnesota's looking at him. I know North Dakota's looking at him. He looks like a taller version of Fran Tarkington, scrambling all over. Just a very good athlete, and he's got a real nice running backs and wide receivers. And you know, we got to be ready. Number 5 is a big, tall, lanky wide receiver, and he's got other guys, his running backs, number 2 and number 3. So we expect a hard fought game. It's Triton. They're always good at football too. And you know, it's it's going to be a good game to get us ready for the tournament.
And when you have that athletic quarterback and you're seeing more athleticism from the quarterback position than you did maybe 10, 15 years ago, how much of a challenge is an athletic quarterback to defend as compared to the pure pocket passers that were the majority of the positions maybe 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah, well, you got to make sure that you keep them in the pocket. I mean, all these guys that are getting outside, that's when they're making plays. So you got to make sure that you do that, and that isn't easy. I think this young man, high jump 7 foot last year in the high jump. So that tells you what kind of athlete he is. So you got to make sure you do that. And everybody's running the quarterback more, right? It's the old single wing, right there. And from
Yeah.
way, way, way back in the day, it's just called spread now. And so you got another tailback back there is what everybody's doing, and so you got to make sure that you account for him as well.
All right, Coach. Hopefully you can keep the positivity going, keep your kids healthy. We wish you best of luck.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, Darren.
Caledonia coach Carl Fruechte. It's Caledonia at Triton in a 5-1 versus 4-2 battle Friday night.